Hi Type P personalities, how are you today? Today is April 29th. You guys may notice that I screw up the dates a lot. It's because I'm a little loopy and dates are really hard for me. So I'm going to start writing them down so I can just know what the date is. We're not going to take too long on all the gobbledygook that I like to put before each video, but what I am going to point out is get the book Plain and Simple by Anthony Lewis. The tarot cards that I use are called the Witch's Tarot, but any tarot card that has 78 cards in a deck is fine. And get the app, the Witch's Tarot app for your iPhone or Android is available. It's so much fun. I love the app. It does cost $3.99. So those that can afford it, I hope that you can, because it's just the greatest app ever. And trust me, I've used a lot of apps, and I'm endorsing this one. Today, we're going to discuss the shadow. The shadow. It is number 15 in the deck. In other decks, it is called the Devil. And the reason why I'm going over the shadow today is because toward the end of yesterday's video in the Death card, I blended the Devil card. And I thought, okay, let's just deal with this. So, today's lesson is on the Devil. It means bondage. Self-imposed limitations. The power of negative thinking. Finding it hard to let go. Pessimistic. Refusal to leave a bad situation. Excessive dependency. That includes drugs, alcohol, or a person. Unnecessary guilt. Heavy commitment. Confronting your own personal demons. Darkness. The need to see things clearly. Excessive attachment to material goods. I kind of like to think of the Devil, when I think of the era, I think of the 80s when, you know, all those Wall Street guys were making so much money and they were 25 years old and they were way above their head because there was a lot of money too fast. I also like to think of it in terms of sports players, young guys that get a lot of money, and it's not always a good thing. It's vanity. It's selfishness. It's greed. Lust. It's powerful urges. It's inhibitions. Fears, hang-ups, self-doubt, hopelessness, oppression, the ties that bind, unhappy choices, feeling stuck in a confining situation, or feeling stuck and not having the energy. It's lack of control. I like to think of that in terms of drugs, in terms of sex. Or sexual passions, you know, or needing a certain type of sex, you know, sometimes some deviant behavior of sex falls under the Devil if it's not healthy. Like you need it, but you don't like it, but you go for it anyway. I'm thinking some of those, in any case. Obsession. Excessive ambition. We see that sometimes in the movies, like excessive ambition, where it's unhealthy. Impatience, volatile, moodiness, unbridled passion. Unrequited passion, unbridled passion, unrequited love, unbridled passion. Lack of restraint, that's the Devil. Inappropriate behavior, that's the Devil. Fickleness, that sounds a little weird, but too much fickleness where you just can't get moving. It's like oh my God, like it's so annoying. Also could be the devil. Also could be used in a form of control fickleness. Frivolous. Didn't think frivolous or silliness or frivolous would be a part of the devil, but anything that's in excess and yet comes in a controlling behavior and yet may mask itself as non-controlling. Scattered energy, impulsiveness, conflict of interest, indecision, outlandishness. You know, you go to some people's homes, especially in California. Oh no. Like Trump, like Donald Trump. Oh my God, some of those buildings in New York, they're so outlandish that they're gawky. They're disgusting. The devil. Donald Trump. Conflict of interest, indecision, imbalance of mind and emotion, haste, closed-mindedness, stress, poor judgment, clash of opposites, immorality, wantonness, going overboard, gluttony. We know gluttony is a sin, so devil. Oh, devil. But in my card, it's called the shadow because it looks better than the devil. A repulsive mixture. Oh boy. Forcing a situation. Unsafe sex. Forcing a situation. Unsafe sex. Throwing caution to the wind. Eat, drink, and be merry to excess. Like it could be too much for tomorrow. You may die. Everything in excess. The devil means to exhibit a lack of moderation and being forced to face the consequences. That's what the devil means. Ultimately, you will face your demons. Oh, that's what the devil means. And, you know, a lot of religious people, they look at the tarot cards and they get so fearful. And you know what? I would think if you have your strength of religion, something like that shouldn't scare you. Because if you have the strength of Christ, the devil can't bother you because you're dealing with your demons. You can handle your demons. They're under control. And we all have them, by the way. But if you don't deal with them, ultimately, you have to face your consequences. Everyone does. This is karma that's not good. Remember, we talked about karma on the Wheel of Fortune that is good. All of a sudden, karma shows up and it's an amazing thing. This is karma, and it's like, sit down because we need to talk. Because this is not going to work out for you. It's karma when it's bad. Failure to control your appetites, whatever that means. And by the way, food, an excess of food, it's the devil. In terms of failing to control your appetites, whatever it is, food, drugs, alcohol, sex. If it comes under the auspices of the devil, like everything in moderation, everything that's not in moderation falls in this category. And you have to face the consequences. If you overeat, you're going to gain weight. If you don't exercise, your body, has response to it. If you think it's okay to just have, sex after, and think that something's not going to come to you eventually, like a disease, devil. All right? That's what the devil means. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as something that needs to be controlled so that when it shows up in your spread, listen. You can fix this. Because the thing that's really important about the devil, and it doesn't show it here, in my enlargement, in the Witch's Tarot, which is probably maybe not the best one to start out with. The Witch's Tarot shows the devil less scary. Like, I'm not so scared. I wish I would have started out with this 20 years ago. The other devil card, he's this big figure and his knees are up and he's kind of showing his punani. I don't know if it's male or female, but looks like a feminine sex organ, actually. And he's got a male and a female attached to chains. And they're around the neck, like my cross, like chains are around their neck. And the thing that's really important about that particular devil card and other decks is that you are not controlled by your vices. You are not controlled by your vices. You can make a decision, and in those cards, you can take the chains off yourself. You think you're attached to drugs, alcohol, weed, sex, cheating, a relationship, but you're really, really not. The control is up here, not in the item, person, or placement that you've put it in. Overindulgence. Issues of sexual fidelity may be a problem in a close relationship when the devil shows up. Your obsession with a goal may lead to take extreme measures to achieve your ends. Your refusal to compromise can cause problems. It's glutton, wasteful people, extremists, those unable to curb their appetites. And again, that's not talking about just food. Nymphomaniacs are some of the examples. Addicts, alcohol, women who love too much. Girls, every guy you meet, you're not supposed to fall in love with. Love too much, love too hard. Those who engage in compulsive sexual activity or deviant sexual activity that's not for your greater good. Okay? In reverse, the devil reverse, if it ever comes up, and we'll talk about the reversals later and how do we get some reversals. I don't do reversals. But we'll talk about it because you may want to. The devil reverse means to release yourself from bondage. It's a good day. Confronting your fears. Release from bondage. Removing the chains. Remember the description I gave you in the other decks where the devil has them attached to the chain, but if you look at the chains, they actually can take it off and walk away from the devil. You can take it off and walk away from your vices. Codependent. No more. The power of positive thinking. Cutting the ties that bind. Overcoming temptation, seeking enlightenment. And sometimes some of our relationship with our parents can fall under the devil, especially if they have controlling personalities. But that will matter when you look at a spread. So if the devil shows up here and a card like the Ten of Pentacles shows up, that has to do with family issues, money issues, and it's keeping you from growing as a person. And sometimes you could be 40, and this representation can still show up in your life. A smothering relationship. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Abuse of power. Dehumanization. Using people for selfish ends or material gain. Absolute power. Corrupts. Absolutely. All right, guys. That was the devil. In the tarot, it's called the shadow side. Shadow meaning the other side that we all have in us. We all have the shadow inside of us. And in my Bible study, one of the ladies was like, you know, there's good and evil. And the kid was like, but which one wins? And the one that wins is the one you feed. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy this. This is Tracy Brown. I'm a psychic here at the Green Man Store. Call me for your own personal readings at 818-985-2010. Thank you. Tomorrow we're going to lighten up. We're going to do a great card tomorrow. Maybe the sun. Okay, bye.